Ronnie-Ward from the Ditmas Park section of the Flatbush neighborhood, the borough of Brooklyn, the county of Kings, the city of New York, United States. Well, NBC, one of the big three legacy media, has finally done it. Well, they are bold, they're treasonous against the United States, and they are seditious. This man on NBC should be arrested immediately, and NBC should be pulled off the air permanently. Donald Trump should send the U.S. military to New York City and shut down and take over NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, every media outlet broadcasting from New York City for treason. And they should be thrown into a military compound and held because NBC 8 hours ago, it's now 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this anchor is interviewing and giving airtime in America to our enemy, Iran, and we are at war. The president declared war against Iran, and NBC today is giving airtime and propaganda to have Americans rise up against our country. This is the enemy within America. NBC, CBS, and ABC. We have United States citizens in this country who are committing treason against our nation, and this proves it. No foreign minister of a sworn enemy should be on the air in a time of war. My grandfather served in World War II in France. Dwight D. Eisenhower was the Supreme Allied Commander. On Victory in Europe Day, May 7th, 1945, and in Germany signed an unconditional surrender. Why did we not end this tragedy of the Holocaust and death in Europe then? Because the American people have been sold out by media. And here's the proof. Posted 8 hours ago. Yeah, at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just 8 hours ago, NBC committed treason against the United States. They should be arrested by the military. I now have every right in the world to put and blow the lid off of these networks, media, the international conglomerates who have been hiding the truth from the American people since May 7th, 1945. That's 80 years. Well, this has to stop permanently. There's only one way to do it. The president, at a time of war, can seize the airwaves and silence this and put them off the air once and for all. Cancel their corporations and put an end to this. Seize the media. but just take it. We can. Congress should immediately pass emergency legislation specifically authorizing the president to take control of the airwaves of the United States, all radio, all television, and all citizen band communications, and take control and immediately. This is treason and sedition. There is a law on the books since the time of the founding of the United States called the Logan Act. And it specifically says that a citizen of the United States or any citizen of the United States, and if you're not a citizen, you're a resident here on a green card or a diplomatic arrangement, you cannot. It is a felony for any person within the jurisdiction of the United States to assist a foreign power in its efforts to kill Americans, our soldiers, and our citizens, and anyone within the jurisdiction of the United States. So if you're here illegally because you have privilege and wealth or have connections, you have committed a felony according to the Logan Act. I expect that the Attorney General of the United States will immediately take action against white Europeans who are here because of wealth and influence and connections. Get white Europeans out of the United States immediately. Ship them back to Europe. Get them the hell out of here. White Europeans. That's what I'm saying. This is it. Special report. NBC News exclusive interview with the foreign minister of Iran. And close the United Nations in New York immediately. It's war. $363,340 views. They have it right here. Proof positive. The foreign minister of Iran, Abbas Araghchi, spoke with NBC Nightly News anchor Tom Lamas in an interview. The dirty dog, the treasonous dog, Tom Lamas, the treasonous dog, and the anchors. Oh, NBC reporters and anchors, they're all treasonous dogs against the country that is paying them millions of dollars. Treasonous dogs. They all are treasonous dogs. They need to be arrested. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are members of Congress in the House and senators in the Senate who know that this is going on. The president should immediately announce that he will not sign another piece of legislation and send Congress home. Not all of them, but many, and we will sort it out. But the first thing he needs to do is seize the media in this country. Take them off the air. We should only see official information from military sources that are confirmed. I am sick. This has been rampant in America since at least I came to New York on September 1st, 2019, just before the COVID Holocaust. The COVID Holocaust in America. The COVID Holocaust in America. It began for me on March 8th. But it started before that. COVID-19. 19 means that's when the virus was propagated as a weapon of mass destruction against the United States and anywhere else in the world. I'm not going to get into it, but it doesn't matter because this has been NBC, ABC, CBS. Donald Trump accuses them all as fake news. All of them. Fake news. All of them. Fake means propaganda outlets. He's a busy man. But we have plenty of, and he needs to nationalize the National Guard of every single state immediately to address the threat, the treasonous threat by dogs who are treasonous and have all committed sedition. Immediately. We are at war. We are a Christian nation. Israel is a Jewish nation, and our allies in the region are Muslim nations. Let the Abrahamic faith, Christianity, Judaism, Christianityism, and Islamism, let the Abrahamic faith unite to put an end once and for all to this anti-religious, anti-United States propaganda-producing machines, our media, all of them, Neil O'Donnell, all of them. Yes, every anchor, all of them, immediately off the air. How treasonous, how dirty, what dogs. They are treasonous dogs and deserve to be punished for what they have done. Since May 7th, 1945, yeah. As U.S. and Israeli bombs continue to hammer the country, said that Iran is ready for a U.S. ground invasion of the country as the war between... This, my God! The President and the Secretary of War will not discuss for fear of tipping off our enemies war plans. And this guy is putting their tactics of our enemy on the air all across America on YouTube. I tell you, Alphabet knows that their platform is being used to undermine and destroy the United States. It's a hegemonic, big tech media takeover of our country, and now they're aiding and abetting our enemy. Iran is ready for a United States ground invasion of the country as the war between Iran, the United States, and Israel has quickly spread across the region. He also refused any negotiations with the United States and said that Iran had not asked for a ceasefire. Every day, NBC News helps people understand what's happening and why it matters through fact-based treasonous propaganda of our sworn enemy. We are at war. And powerful stories from its leading news broadcast today. NBC Nightly News, Meet the Press, and Dateline, to NBC News Now, the 24/7, 365 streaming propaganda of big tech and big media are killing Americans, putting ourselves the deaths of those 6 heroes. Their blood is on the media and big tech in America. May the deaths of our 6 valiant heroes be a reminder to the world. Leave alone the United States. Well, Iran falls today, and the Abrahamic coalition of Christianity, Judaism, and Islamism is going to right the world. Finally, once and for all, we are going to rout out every traitorous dog in America, and we're going to start with Norah O'Donnell. Get her first, and then go get Fox, and get NBC, and get ABC, and take them off the air, and put loyalists to the United States in their chairs immediately. Yeah, they indict themselves, shaping the world in their own image. Yeah, look at all this. Yeah, it's outrageous. How long have they been on this channel? How long have they been on this channel? Yeah, how long? July 19th. Since July 19th, 2006, this channel on YouTube has been a cesspool of traitorous dogs who've been undermining our country for 20 years. 20 years this has been a tool of propaganda. The enemy within the United States is the media and big tech. They take it from both sides. They take money from Congress to make weapons of mass destruction, and then they put their media dogs on the air to keep Americans in the dark. It is a long-running, 81-year mission and objective to cover over a multitude of sins committed during World War II and immediately thereafter. Since May 7th, 1945, in Reims, France, when the unconditional surrender was signed. Can you see why now? We have Iranians in this country who are loyal to the current regime. They all need to be routed out and arrested immediately. Yeah, how many views? 9,714,000,000 444,139 views. All of them. All of them. The president has the authority. We are at war. Roosevelt took control at war. Let Trump finally stand up and face the enemy within the United States for 81 years. And at least this is during the George W. Bush administration. Isn't that odd that that's when this went on the air? On a secret. People don't get to see this. It's not broadcast. They don't broadcast these interviews. No, we have a two-tiered propaganda system. Multifaceted propaganda system of dirty, traitorous dogs. We're only 5 days in this current war. We've been at war and within the United States ever since May 7th, 1945, before there was television. Yeah, here we go.
Iran's foreign minister
Listen to
joined
it.
us from Tehran.
This is outrageous. It's everything I said. Here it is.
We are coming on the air with breaking news right now. Our exclusive interview with Iran's foreign minister who joined us from Tehran, which just wrapped up moments ago. The foreign minister answering questions about why Iran is attacking its neighbors in the Middle East and whether they're willing to negotiate with the U.S. But I started by asking him who exactly is in charge of Iran right now after its supreme leader was killed over the weekend. Minister Arashi, we thank you for your time. Who is in charge of Iran right now?
Well, thank you, Tom, for having me in your program. Well, I think the system is working very well. We have lost the supreme leader, but according to our constitution, there is now a council.
They have lost a supreme leader. He didn't say our holy supreme leader has been viciously murdered. No, we don't know where the foreign minister is. For God's sakes, he could be in the United States. Yeah. We don't know where he is. He shouldn't even be on here. That is the enemy. That's the foreign minister of our enemy. He is a high value target. He should be taken out immediately. He's obviously a tool of treason. He should be murdered wherever he is. Death to him. Death to the foreign minister of our enemy. Yes, death to the foreign minister of our enemy. We are at war. Death to him and his diplomatic entourage.
Takes charge of his duties, and then the president, the cabinet, ministers, everybody is in its position. So the system is working very well, and everybody, is in charge.
We know that there's been a council. We know that there's been.
Everybody is in charge. Who is everybody? Who are his? Who are the united? Who are the united? Who are the citizens of this country? Who are the green card holders? And who are the individuals through their wealth and power and their influence and privilege in the United States who are the enemy within? He said everybody.
A council to fulfill the duties of the supreme leader, but we also know that there's a selection process in play to pick the next Ayatollah. There are reports that Ayatollah Khamenei's son is a front runner. Is that true?
Well, actually, I have don't exact information. There are many rumors around. but we have to wait for the
We.
the assembly of experts to choose the new supreme leader.
I also asked the foreign minister about Iranian ships being sunk and whether he believes Iran can win this war. Here's what he had to say.
Hey, I'm Excel. And I'm Excel with data rails. Finance teams love me. I'm pretty much their best friend. Yeah.
The world saw your battleship sunk in the Indian Ocean. Dozens of Iranian sailors died. Your response was, quote, "Mark my words, the U.S. will come to bitterly regret the precedent it has set." So what is Iran going to do? And at this point, given the state of your military right now,
Do you see we're at war? How outrageous this is! How outrageous! The president is the commander-in-chief. This is purposely, calculatedly, and at profit, killing American soldiers, putting our troops at risk, putting our Israeli allies' troops at risk, the citizens of this country at risk. They could be plotting an invasion of our country. They have sleeper cells in this country right now who are probably terrorizing Americans. Look at this.
what can you do?
Well, first of all, that was a training training ship, which was invited by the Indian Navy to take part in an exercise. And they
Listen to
went there
this.
as their guests, the Indians guests, and they did participate in that exercise, and they were in their way back home, and the ship was unarmed. So attacking an unarmed ship full of training officers and sailors is a war crime. I have to say.
War crime? India, he's saying that the United States military bombed an India ship. Are you kidding me? Propaganda, lies.
Say,
What type of battleship, Minister, excuse me, but what type of military would allow a battleship into the ocean with no weapons on board?
Well, because it was, the goal was not, their aim was not going to war. They went for an exercise, which was arranged by the Indian Navy. There are so many other guests who went there, and they, took part in a parade. And, everything was a peaceful, training course or a peaceful training process. So they didn't need, weapons. They actually went to that mission long before the war started. And when I said that the U.S. would regret that, I meant that they have, the U.S. have unfortunately set a precedent which is, against the international law and would actually damage the whole country.
International law, globalism, international lawism are propagated by our enemies. It is. It does not exist. There is no such thing as law of the nations. Law of the nations above all governments. That's what international law is. Law propagated by nations, supra powers above the UN even.
Concept of international law of seas. When an unarmed ship is attacked with no reason, and a big number of sailors are killed without taking part in any battle, that would set a precedent. And
the U.S., yeah.
Yeah, he says.
The U.S. says it controls the skies, that Iran's ballistic missile attacks have dropped more than 80%. The U.S. has hit over 2,000 Iranian targets. The Pentagon says America is winning decisively. Do you think they're wrong?
Well, I think, now 6 days after the war.
He is part of the propaganda machine, Mr. Lama says. This man should have a price on his head and should be taken out. Death. Yes. And so should this man. Right there. He is an enemy combatant. A treasonous dog. Right there he is, Mr. Lamas. That means if he's a little leaf on a tree flying in the wind, that means the root of the tree is in traitorous ground, and the water and the sunlight is traitorous sunlight, and the tree is traitorous sunlight, and the tree is, oh, yeah, he's a little leaf flashing out on the thing. It is the tree of traitorism. The tree of traitorism. Yeah, it has a lot of branches. They're all traitorous.
Or it is clear that the U.S. Has failed to achieve its main goal, which was a clean, rapid victory. They failed to achieve that, and now they are.
The objectives of this war are clear and precise. The President, the Secretary of War, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff has made it clear what the objectives are here.
Trying to justify why they did attack us, and they have, presented so many different reasons, but none of them worked. And now they are talking about, Plan B, and I believe that, their Plan B would be even a bigger failure. So they are controlling our side, but at the moment,
Minister, your supreme leader was killed. Your top military leaders were killed. Your military installations have.
We do not know for sure. We will not know the facts until Iran signs an unconditional surrender and is occupied permanently from time immemorial from now, forever and ever. And our enemy is finally conquered. Permanent victory begins in Iran. For peace on earth, goodwill to all. And it is an Abrahamic coalition. Christianityism, United States. Judaism, Israel. Islamism, our allies in Western Asia. From India to the Arabian Peninsula, it's time for Modi to stand up and stop his position of ambiguity. It's time to be counted. It's a special partnership. We have a special relationship with His Majesty Charles III, the Crown. We don't have a special relationship with Keir Starmer or the Parliament or the British people. We have a special partnership now with Israel and the people of Israel and the government of Israel and the cabinet, the Knesset, and Benjamin Netanyahu. And we have allied friends of the Gulf countries who are all Muslim. Allied friends. Allied friends. Special partnership. That's the structure.
Been bombed. How can you call that a failure?
Well, then what they have achieved? What was their goal? They came here for a regime change, perhaps. They came here for a rapid victory, so they can, control everything. But they have failed. The system is working. The commanders have been replaced, and the supreme leader is going to be replaced soon, according to the procedures set by the Constitution. So everything is in order. Yes, we have been targeted, but we have also have attacked so many targets in Israel, and so many targets belongs to the Americans. Their assets, their bases, their installations in the region, and they have not been able to prevent those attacks. Our missiles are still working. Our missiles are still in place and hitting their targets in a very precise manner.
So, Minister, can Iran win this war? If I can ask you, can Iran win this war, and what does winning look like?
He is talking about how our enemy can win. Supporting our enemy. How our enemy can be victorious over the United States and our partner Israel and our allied friends in the Gulf. It's an impossibility. This is going to be complete and total victory. Complete and total victory. Totalitarian victory. Total victory. To end this once and for all. Lest we never forget.
Like for Iran?
Well, there is no winner in this war. Our win is to be able to resist against, their illegal, goals, and this is what we.
How do they have the power to resist? Because they're traitorous so-called frenemies of the United States who are aiding and abetting our enemy. Frenemies, friends and enemies, frenemies of the United States, governments, other nations are aiding and abetting the enemy against the United States and our special partner Israel and our allied friends of the Gulf, from India to the Arabian Peninsula.
Have done so far. So they have failed to achieve their goals, and we have been able to resist against them, to stand against the most powerful army of the world, as they claim, together with Israelis, who are also claim to have the big army. Two of them are nuclear armed, but still the people of Iran, the army, the armed forces of Iran, have been able to stand firm against them. They couldn't, stop us firing missiles to Israel and to other destinations. We are doing very well, and they have not been able to stop us. So this is our win.
Yeah, how?
And I don't think they can be a winner at the end of the day.
Minister, explain to us and to the world, really, Iran has chosen to attack at least 10 other countries, many of them your Arab neighbors. None of them were involved in this.
They are allied friends of the United States. They're not neighbors to Iran. They are not neighbors to Iran. They are allied friends of the United States.
Or why are you attacking your Muslim neighbors during the holy month of Ramadan?
Oh, please don't mistake. We have not attacked our neighbors. We have not attacked Muslim countries. We have attacked Americans' targets and Americans' bases, Americans' installations, which are unfortunately located in the soils of our neighbors. So we have made it clear for them. I have been in touch with their foreign ministers, and I have explained that we are not targeting you.
Propaganda! Lies!
Problem with you.
Lies!
We are only targeting
Traitorous lies from the mouth of our enemy.
But Minister, Iran is hitting civilian targets, striking hotels, high-rise apartments, airports in many of these countries. Those are not military targets.
Well, no, we have targeted very well. The Americans are. Maybe there have been some collateral damages, as it is in every war. You know, look, more than 70,000 people were killed in Gaza by Israelis, and Israeli army called all of them collateral damage. So yes, there is the possibility of collateral damages in this situation as well. This is what we have warned everybody in the region beforehand, that if the U.S. attack us, we have no way but to attack their installations which are in your territories, and then everything may go out.
Oh, I see. Threats of violence against Americans, Israelis, and the Gulf states. Just threats. That's the thing with a traitorous dog like this gentleman. Half-truths and some truth and false and all mixed together. Being aided and embedded by Mr. Lamas.
Of hand, and the war would become a disaster for the whole region. This is what we have warned, and many others have warned, and many Americans have also warned the U.S. administration to not repeat the same mistake. They have done it before in our region, and this is what they have done. This war is not our war. This is not our.
He is testifying to the fact that there are enemies within our country, our nation. Sleeper cells. They're trying to, NBC is knowingly participating to activate and communicate to the sleeper cells in the United States to rise up and do their secret, murderous rage against the United States inside our country. They're getting their orders right now through NBC.
This is a war of choice by the United States.
Iran's foreign minister also weighed in about whether his country would be open to a ceasefire with the U.S. Here's what he told me.
There cannot be a ceasefire. There can't be a ceasefire. It's total war. Total war. Only in total and unconditional surrender.
You're saying Iran does not want a ceasefire.
We are not asking for a ceasefire. And we don't see any reason why we should negotiate with the U.S. When we negotiated with them twice, and every time they attacked us at the middle of negotiations. So there is no request for a ceasefire by us, and there is no request for the negotiation with the U.S. From us. We have never sent any messages to them.
Minister, you said that Iran cannot reach U.S. soil, right? The American homeland with the weapons that you have right now. Is there any other way that
Congress has failed to fund Homeland Security, and some have called for the impeachment and removal of the Secretary of Homeland Security?
American Americans should be concerned that Iran could attack the American homeland?
No, they have enough bases around us. Why we should go further than that? They have enough soldiers. They have enough, military assets, and they have enough military bases and military installations. So we don't need to go beyond that.
The Strait of Hormuz hasn't been closed, but the threat of its closure has disrupted the international economy. If this war continues, will Iran try to close the Strait of...
International economy, he says. There is no such thing as an international economy. There's an economy in a country. A nation has an economy, not an international economy.
Hormuz?
They have not closed it. It is the ships and tankers who don't try to pass through to cross the strait.
Graphic provided by NBC.
They are, concerned about being hit by either side. So we have no intention to close it right now. But as the war continues, we will consider every scenario.
Oil tankers not being targeted. That's provided by NBC.
Almost empty of
as a fact.
Ships and tankers because of the
treacherous lies.
Concern.
In this war, are international oil tankers potential targets for Iran?
There's no such thing as an international tanker.
Why they should be targeted?
All ships are assigned to a country.
Iran threatened tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has already threatened them to set them afire.
No, we have not threatened them. They are concerned themselves, and they don't use the Strait of Hormuz because of the concerns they have to be hit by either side.
Is Iran privately talking to U.S. officials right now through back channels?
No.
There's no communication with you and Steve Witkoff or Jared Kushner?
No, not after Thursday that we met last night. We met last Thursday. We negotiated for almost 7 hours. They were so happy when they left the negotiation table because we were able to
lies.
Make significant progress, as the Omani foreign minister said in his statement, and he checked his statement with both sides, and both sides agreed with the term he used. And
he just said, as the Iranian foreign minister just said. He is the Iranian foreign minister, isn't he? I don't know.
Made really significant progress. They were happy when they left, but I don't know what happened after they left.
And I asked Iran's foreign minister about whether his country is prepared for a possible ground invasion from American troops. Watch this. President Trump has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion?
NBC News exclusive interview.
No, we are waiting for them.
You were waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
So you're saying that Iran is ready and willing to take on the U.S. military if there were to be ground troops?
Well, we were ready for this war even more than the previous war. So you can see, the quality of our missiles, how much they are upgraded after the last war, because we learned lots of lessons. And we are prepared for any other eventuality, even, a ground invasion. So our soldiers are prepared for any scenario. When I said that we are waiting for them, it didn't mean that we are waiting for continuation of the war. No, but we have prepared ourselves to confront with any scenario, with any eventuality, any possibility, and we know that we can handle that.
Are your allies Russia and China helping you?
Well, they are supporting us. So.
They are not. The United States has never been at war with the People's Republic of China or the Russian Federation or the USSR or Imperial Russia. We've never been at war. It's the only two nations that the United States has never been at war with. We have never been enemies.
Politically and otherwise.
Are they supporting you militarily?
Well, military cooperation between Iran and and Russia.
They are not. That's a lie.
Secret. We have worked with each other in the past, and that has continued. And will continue. I guess.
And they are actively helping you in this war?
Well, they are. They have always helped us.
So I'm gonna understand that to mean yes, that they are actively assisting you in this war.
Oh my God!
Well, I'm not going to give the details of our cooperation with other countries right in the middle of the war.
For more, I want to bring in our chief international correspondent, Keir Simmons. He joins us from the region in Dubai. And Keir, he made a lot of news there, that they haven't picked a leader yet, that they're not interested in a ceasefire.
You have made a lot of news.
To justify why Iran is attacking its neighbors.
You have made a lot of news. Manufactured it out of nowhere. Not your reporting.
You're in one of those countries right now that is under attack.
One of those countries.
Targeting only military assets?
It doesn't, Tom, and that's not my view. That's the view of diplomats in this region and diplomats around the world. I will just say it was a calm, cool
diplomats,
performance. But
non-specific.
They've had to delay the funeral of Ayatollah Khamenei. They would not want to do that if everything was fine in Iran. To your question, Tom, for example, the Prime Minister of Qatar, after a call with Foreign Minister Araghchi, said he categorically rejects Iran's claim that they are only targeting sites that are legitimate, saying they're targeting, for example, the airport. But even then, the Chinese Foreign Minister, Wang Yi, after a call with Foreign Minister Araghchi, made a statement that did condemn the attacks by the US and Israel, but then goes on to say that Iran should take seriously the legitimate concerns of neighboring countries.
He's an enemy of the United States.
That is, from the
He's put a price on his head for death.
That Iran needs to be careful about what it's doing in this region. We've had bombardment after bombardment after bombardment. The only reason those bombardments have not done as much damage as they could is because of the air defenses in this region.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if you actually sat down and talked with missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of...
Keir Simmons, we thank you. Stand by for us. I want to go to our senior national security correspondent, Courtney Kuby, who covers the Pentagon for us. Courtney, the foreign minister there had a lot to say if there is some type of...
Inside the Pentagon.
Invasion by U.S. troops there, posturing at times, but sending a clear message to the White House.
A traitor with an enemy. An agent of death to America.
Two things really stood
This
out.
woman.
One was what you just pointed out, Tom, and that's the idea of the Iranian military.
She has put a price of death on her head.
On the ground. Of course, this has been a huge point of contention and discussion here in the U.S. even before the strikes began on Saturday morning, and that is because we have heard differing messages from the Trump administration about the...
No, that's a lie.
Troops could be on the ground there at some point as part of this war in Iran.
She's telling a lie.
Ruling it out, and the Secretary
She's an enemy of the United States.
Not ruling out that possibility. The real
and our
is,
special partner Israel and our allied friends of the Gulf.
Most of these military strikes from the air. What would you need them for? And Tom, the answer would be if in fact the U.S. is trying to inflict some sort of regime change there, it would be tough to do that from the air. And then the other big question is the nuclear program. How will there be any kind of assurance about exactly what happens at the facilities if the United States military decides to hit them again? We've not seen that so far as part of this current campaign. The other thing I want to point out that I was really fascinated by was his view about the Strait of Hormuz and denying that the Iranians are interested in doing anything in the Strait of Hormuz. Of course, it would have a huge impact on global commerce.
Global commerce. There's no such thing.
That narrow choke point has already depleted, been decreased so much in the last several days. You can see it there. At some points, it's as narrow as about 12 miles across, with normally a huge amount of tankers and commercial shipping going through that region. It is desperately down right now from where it was. The only reason that was fascinating to me, Tom, was his argument that they would not do anything to impede the Strait of Hormuz. I would just remember or mine it. I would recall 2019 when, in fact, Iran did use mines, limpet mines. Those are little magnetic mines on the side of two tankers, blowing both of them up, disabling them. It was in the Gulf of Oman. This would not be unheard of for the Iranians to lash out using mines in that region, Tom.
Yeah, and previously in the last two sort of conflicts, Iran saying they were going to stop the bombings, that they were done. Here saying there is no ceasefire. They're not interested in a ceasefire. I want to go straight to the White House with a senior White House correspondent.
Oh, my God.
I also asked him about an Axios report.
An enemy at the White House.
Personally be involved. He says that will never happen. Personally involved in the selection.
The Secret Service should apprehend him immediately.
The Iranian people will select their leader.
Yeah, Tom, and when I combine that story with your interview, it's even less...
They don't even state his name.
Because what I heard from the foreign minister there also was him saying that a victory for the Iranians would be to resist.
They do not state his name.
Fighting back for
Garrett
as long as possible. He also said there are no conversations actively happening between the Iranians and the U.S. administration in any capacity, nor would there be.
He is smiling. He is happy about it.
The U.S. has now struck Iran twice while negotiations were already in place. To me, that essentially leaves two possibilities here: that the U.S. continues to this operation until the President Trump feels like the military goals have been reached. That's the, kind of the
12:20 p.m. Eastern
Standard
Time.
From the administration right now, what they're trying to do, or that this does become a far
Today
regime change war. You heard the foreign minister almost welcome the possibility of U.S. ground troops, and that's the other way these Middle Eastern wars tend to go, with the U.S. getting bogged down on the ground. What the goals are here now for the United States, getting clarity from President Trump in response to this interview, is going to be very, very important, because the sort of all the signs are here for how this could be messier and far longer of a conflict than the 4 to 5 weeks that the president has said is the goal.
And the foreign minister also told me that the last two times they were negotiating with the Trump administration, they've been bombed. So they don't see any reason why to negotiate anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And from their perspective, that's certainly understandable. It's also not clear what...
Understandable from our enemy.
I mean, the stated goals of the United States here are to destroy their Navy, destroy their ability to project power, their missile program, and their nuclear program. What would the Iranians be able to show the American government to say that we have done this, that they have done this satisfactorily? The odds for a negotiated solution to this war,
no negotiations. Negotiations are over.
By the hour, I think, Tom.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch live on our YouTube channel.
New episodes Mondays.
Even after all these years, I never tire of this view.
Your favorite community.
Okay, that's it. What more can I say? I'm posting this video up immediately to my YouTube channel. I have much more to say. I've already said a lot, but I haven't said enough. I have hundreds and thousands of videos on YouTube already, to the public. They're publicly posted. I don't promote them. I don't profit from them. It's too serious. Ronnie-Ward, from the Ditmas Park section of the Flatbush neighborhood, the borough of Brooklyn, the county of Kings, the city of New York, the state of New York, United States.